Hey everyone, it's Fun Around, and my name is Jordan. And yeah, I'm filming during the day. You may hear some children yelling and screaming weird words like Riz and Skibbity and Ohio outside. I apologize for that. This video will be for week 6 of the NFL. I have 6 different props that I like for you all, so I'm going to jump right into it. You'll see images that come up on the screen, but right here, that'll be from a data app called Outlier. There's a link in the description, and I'll give you a 7-day free trial for Outlier. So I'm going to hop into this first pick. First pick, I'm going to go right back to him because he did really well for us. DeAndre Swift of the Chicago Bears, over 20.5 receiving yards, minus 110. He will be playing in the early game on Sunday. He's gone over in 4 straight games, and last game he had 2 catches and got 42 yards. So he was just breaking off some big ones. The very first one put him just under the line. Looked like he'd hook if he didn't get another catch, but then he busted off another big one. And then the week before, he had 7 catches on 7 targets. So it's not like he's just getting a couple of catches a game. He can have some big games where he is getting a lot of targets. So this game will be against Jacksonville. Jacksonville is giving up the second most receiving yards to running backs. A good opportunity here for DeAndre Swift of the Chicago Bears for receiving yards. Next pick is going to be, I've seen a lot of people in the Discord talking about him. There's 2 guys you could go with for the Texans. Nico Collins is out. He's on IR, unfortunately. He's on my fantasy team. But he demanded a very high target share. So now you can choose between Stephon Diggs or Tank Dell. Tank Dell, I think, has the highest ceiling for yards. If you want to just do something crazy and do like 100 yards receiving, Tank Dell might be your guy. It's just he is very injury prone and can pull a hammy at like any second. So I think the safer pick and the one I'm going to go with is Stephon Diggs, over 5.5 receptions at minus 120. He was already getting 22% of the target share with Nico Collins there. And he faces the Patriots. They're giving up the 7th most receptions to the wide receiver position. So good opportunity here for Stephon Diggs to kind of fill in that role with Nico Collins out and just get receptions. Doesn't have to get a ton of yards. Just be that safe guy for CJ Stroud to throw to. And Tank Dell is going to be your guy who's going to, try to break off a big one. That's Stephon Diggs, over 5.5 receptions, minus 120. And I'm just going to jump right into this next one. Chuba Hubbard of the Panthers, over 59.5 rushing yards at minus 135. Gone over in 4 straight games. In the past 3 games, he has almost gone over 100 yards for all of them. That actually correlates with Andy Dalton starting. So when you have a somewhat respectable passing game, it opens up the running game, and he has done very well with that opportunity. He's going up against the Falcons, who he actually went over this line in both games against the Falcons last year. Falcons are giving up the 3rd most rushing yards overall, and then the 14th most rushing yards to running backs this season. So I know Bryce Young came in and played a little bit, and he played pretty well, but they said Andy Dalton's still going to be the guy. So if you guys could, please like the channel. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you leave a comment for the algorithm? Could you just leave the number 6 for week 6? Or maybe that's bad luck. I don't have a bunch of 6s everywhere. Could you just leave a number that you like in the comment section? If you'd like to get away from Prizepicks and try out a different app, check out Underdog Fantasy, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, and ChalkBoard. Use promo code FINDAROUND11 on any of these. They'll match first deposit up to $100. There are links in the description that'll take you there with the promo code. Thank you to anyone who uses those. So this next pick, going with a Lions running back, you could probably go with both of them, to be honest. But I'm going to go with David Montgomery, anytime touchdown at minus 135. He has had 1 in all 4 games that he has played this season. He also had 1 versus Dallas last season, and he had a touchdown in 76% of games last season. He's getting almost an even split when it comes to red zone carries with Gibbs, about 52%. So that's why I say you could go with either or both of them. They're probably going to get some good opportunities against this Dallas defense, who's on paper supposed to be really good against the run, but they're giving up the third most touchdowns to running backs this season. So that's why I'm going with David Montgomery. Montgomery's probably the safer pick, but probably gives you a better payout. So that's the way you could look at those two. This next one is going to be from the later game, Sunday Night Football. I actually have 2 picks from that one, so I don't need a whole video for just 2 picks. Just going to throw it in here. I like Zach Moss of the Bengals, over 13.5 receiving yards, minus 110. He has gone over in 4 out of 5 games this season. Chase Brown will continue to get split carries with him, or split snaps. I mean, they do split carries pretty evenly, but snaps, even with receiving and stuff like that. So to start out the year, Joe Burrow, like always, kind of had a slow start, but he woke up around week 3. Ever since then, like Jamar Chase has had really good receiving numbers. Joe Burrow's had really good passing numbers. And Zach Moss is averaging 4.5 targets a game over these past 3 weeks, getting 9 yards a catch. So math would say if he needs 14 yards and he's getting 9 yards a catch, we just need him to get 2 catches. And if he's getting 4.5 targets a game, pretty good opportunity for him to go over this line. And the Giants, they are giving up the 4th most receiving yards to running backs on the season. And if this little tiny light is bothering you, I promise you it's bothering me too. Because it keeps hitting my eye. This final pick from that game is going to be Darius Slayton of the Giants. On the other side of things, over 47.5 receiving yards, minus 110. Top receiver Malik Neighbors will be out for the Giants for the 2nd week. Last week with no Malik Neighbors. Against the Seahawks, Slayton had 8 catches on 11 targets for 122 yards. The Bengals are giving up the 13th most receiving yards to wide receivers on the season. And Neighbors was getting 31% of the target share. So you take all of that away and you distribute it. And most of that's going to go to Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson. Wan'Dale Robinson did not have as great of a game with him out last week. So that's why I'm going with Slayton. He was the guy to have the big game with Neighbors out. So not like an amazing matchup, but not a bad matchup here for Darius Slayton. With a Bengals team who's kind of hot right now, they could be trying to play catch up. So I like him over 47.5 receiving yards. So if you'd like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. You can hop on there and just talk about NFL, preseason NBA. People are talking about that and betting on that. WNBA's in the finals, all that good stuff. It's free. You can hop on in there. And then as far as a recap goes, I had DeAndre Swift over 14.5 receiving yards. So that's bumped up by 6 now. He went over that. Will Lutz of the Broncos for 2 field goals made. He got that in the first half. And it's sad. I crossed out Jamar Chase, Bengals anytime touchdown. He ended up getting that, so that sucks. Bo Nix over 21.5 rushing yards. He went under that. Dontavian Wicks over receiving yards. He did not get that done, and I wouldn't go to him because it looks like Dobbs and Watson will be back. And then I had Tucker Kraft over 3.5 receptions. He went over that. And then Najee Harris over 15.5 receiving yards. He hit that. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he hit that. So not a bad week for week 5. I did have Dontavian Wicks to get an anytime touchdown that missed as well. So still not a bad week. So hoping for a good one for week 6. I hope you all do well. If you take any of these, if you like any of them and you tail them, hope you do well. God bless you. It's fun around. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.